And finally, let's go over to the professional insights for in-depth knowledge on today's topic.
Tax evasion is any omission or an act by a taxpayer to deliberately, fraudulently reduce its tax liabilities. What this means for the country is that government is unable to have access to the needed funding to provide social amenities. In the FRS 2022 report, the tax to GDP ratio of Nigeria was put at about 11%, when we have some other countries in Africa having as high as 25 to 28%. What this means is that the Nigerian government is losing money on a yearly basis, monies that would have been available to do social infrastructure. Therefore, tax investigation is a needed tool to correct this anomaly and ensure that all the needed revenue are brought into the government coffers for government use. According to the enabling laws of the FRS investigators have different powers with which they conduct their activities. There is power to access your land, there is power to request for information, there is power to freeze your account, power to investigate, and a whole lot of them. However, different strategies are deployed when these powers are brought to use. The FRS makes sure that its tax investigation officers carry out a very detailed risk analysis, which tells us the areas of focus. There are times that you have tons and tons of data, but your risk analysis will provide you the exact data that you should be looking at, which is the most important. The FRS as an institution has also developed its own in-house data mining tool by the name of Tax Promax. This platform provides investigators a first-hand analysis of the tax returns submitted by taxpayers. They don't see this at the front end, but the tax officers see this at the back end. And from that point, they're able to determine which company to review or audit or investigate. There are also collaborations with third parties such as the banks, the customs, the Nigerian Communication Commission, any agency that warehouses data, because data is life. You need data to be able to prosecute, to identify, and go after any recalcitrant taxpayers. The challenges that tax officers face during tax investigations are enormous. Chiefly among them is the lack of records by businesses, followed by the resistance of these businesses to even allowing the tax officers carry out their duties. The issue around access to third-party data is also key. And while we also have issues around political interference by the bigwigs who would stop you from doing your work, the challenges are enormous. There's also the issue of slow process in the area of judicial arbitration. When a taxpayer, wants to take the legal angle to resolving issues with you, it takes time for these things to get executed. So to mitigate against these challenges, the FRS is now following the big data, which involves the data analytics, using the platforms that are earlier highlighted, Tax Promax, the data mining from third parties, and as well training and retraining its staff to ensure that we minimize the incidences of corruption during tax investigation exercises. And the best guide for any tax officer is to follow the tax investigation manual, which will safeguard you even when there are interferences on the cases that you handle. The end result of tax evasion is to reduce the tax liabilities. Therefore, the taxpayer focuses on anything that will reduce his income illegally in this instance, or anything that will make him have access to claim fictitious expenses and tax reliefs. So if you check the books of a taxpayer, it is either income is being suppressed or expenses are being inflated. It can be taken through whatever scheme. It can be a scheme to declare losses persistently, a scheme to increase and doctor falsify records. Whatever the scheme is, the main purpose is to reduce the tax liability. The FRS has now introduced the e-invoicing platform, whereby all the invoices that must be that would allow you to have to claim input VAT are now being directly channeled to that platform. You, the taxpayer, can view them and take advantage of the reliefs that are available, while the tax authorities also can deliberately see them anytime the platform is engaged. There's also the solution around country-by-country reporting. This is to cover international corporations who have businesses across the world. Instead of underdeclaring their income in Nigeria by way of not telling the truth about their operations outside the country, the Nigerian tax system has also gotten a buy-in into the country-by-country reporting and ensuring that all international entities report their activities in all the countries that they operate, thereby giving little or no room for underdeclaration of their operation. Artificial intelligence is the current trend, and the FRS is not left behind in this trend. Modules have been developed in the back end to ensure that the service take full advantage of AI. In the interim, the service is deploying and using the existing platform to mine data from all our third-party partners towards having a very good tax investigation exercise whereby all evasions are identified and dealt with adequately. Data mining and access to third-party platform has greatly helped the tax investigation department in uncovering tax evasion schemes.